In 2020, the world stopped. COVID-19 started spreading at an unprecedented rate, so we were all sent home. Offices were closed and companies started finding ways to continue running remotely. Now, we are being asked to go back to the office, but new ways of working have emerged. The 9-to-5 work life is not that standard anymore.
Before the pandemic, 120,000 people would commute through the Canary Wharf station to get to work every day. After the COVID-19 restrictions eased, just under 20,000 passed through this station. A 4-day work week, digital nomads, remote work, freelancing, these are things people are considering more and more after working from home for 2 years. Have these replaced the 9-to-5 as the future of work? Let's find out.
In the world's biggest pilot of its kind, 70 UK companies, from breweries to charities, are trialling a 4-day work week starting this month. Happy is one of the companies taking part. Based in central London, they offer leadership training and workplace consultancy, and they have high hopes for the trial.
So the 4-day week trial, we're doing it with 70 other organisations, and it's going to be a 6-month trial. We started a pilot 4 years ago, actually, we did it just for 1 month. And it was quite interesting because the majority of the staff said they actually got more done. But there were a few people who didn't, who found it quite stressful. But we did quite a bit of furlough during the pandemic, and some of them were taking furlough 1 day a week and discovered they'd got as much done. So there's been a bit of a change over the pandemic, and so we thought now's the right time to do it. I started working a 4-day week from September, and I thought, yeah, I want everyone to do this. I decided it was time to go for it. We discussed at the staff meeting, and the staff voted for a 4-day week, 16-1, in a survey that we did. I think that the future of work is about getting away from command and control, getting away from micromanagement, getting away from hierarchy, because people won't accept those anymore. One of the reasons we're involved in the 4-day week is because we fundamentally believe that people work best when they feel good about themselves. And so my hopes are that we will continue to be able to work a 4-day week, that we will have better well-being because people will take that day off, people will be happier, and therefore they'll be, in my view, more productive. And also it'd be a great bone for recruitment. Imagine if you go to one of our competitors on a 5-day week and come to us on a 4-day week, well, I think you'd prefer to come to Happy, wouldn't you?
The trial is being supported by the 4-Day Workweek campaign, an advocacy group based in London. They have been campaigning for a shorter workweek across the UK for years now. Although the idea was first put forward in the Labour Party's 2017 manifesto, it is the COVID-19 pandemic that has been the catalyst for this change. I spoke to Joel Ryle, the director of the campaign.
The pandemic has shown us when we want the world of work to change very quickly, it can do, and the move towards remote work and the furlough scheme, policies that we thought were unimaginable before the pandemic almost happened overnight, and I think that's opened people's eyes to the fact that the world of work can change very quickly, and workers are desperate for a better work-life balance after the pandemic. We know that from all the polling, from the amount of interest there is in a 4-day week, and so we think the 4-day week is good for workers, good for the economy, good for the environment, and it's an idea whose time has come. So what we've seen where the 4-day week has been trialled across the world is that it's a win-win for both worker and businesses, and that's because productivity goes up on the one side, but also the well-being of workers does too, and that happens time and time again. Whenever this is trialled, that seems to be the result. There's also other benefits to companies in terms of reduced sick days, the ability to retain staff, attract new talent to the organisation, and just create a good work culture as well.
Many countries have already implemented the 4-day work week. In New Zealand, companies have seen an increase in productivity by 1/5 and almost a 50% improvement in employees' work-life balance. The question is, will the UK follow this trend?
We've seen successful trials already across the world, so in Iceland, Japan, in Belgium, there's been lots of companies adopting this in the USA and other major global companies. But we wanted to do a trial in the UK to show it can be done. There's a wide range of businesses taking part, from care sector, to hospitality, retail, and we want to show this is possible across the economy. We should be working towards a 32-hour working week. No one should be working more than that.
I conducted a survey among 100 freelancers, and about half of them said that money was their motivation to go freelance. However, nearly 1/3 of the respondents said they prioritize flexibility over increased earnings. But is a flexible working lifestyle for everybody?
I think that it will be such a factor that people will continue to move towards a 4-day week, and maybe in 5 years or 10 years it will be the norm.